Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 19 of The Road to Glory, here with Kyla Adams, and we are still with Summit Wrestling, so yeah. Let's just get straight into things. Of course, we left the last episode off, finally getting to D- popularity in the Mid-South. We're gonna continue to advance on, as we pretty much want to try and get to a high enough level of popularity to where we don't actually gain any popularity from our shows. And what I mean by that is I want us to reach our cap for now due to our low production values in the mid south, and then we want to transition and try and work towards cult by running shows in the southwest as well. And the thought process behind that is, if we're going to continue to run shows and we're going to be penalized due to having lower popularity in the southwest, then it's pretty important for us to keep our production values relatively low, because otherwise we're going to be hemorrhaging cash, and we kind of don't really want that. We want to try and at least build up the popularity in the southwest to somewhat of a similar level as it is in the mid south. Anyway, let's like I said, we're going to continue running here. Hopefully by that time the economy in the US will perk itself up a little bit. Anyway, tonight's main event, we're going to go with a 6-man tag. We're going to have Long Beach Mafia, and they are going to take on the Ring Generals and Ernest Youngman. Nice 20-minute match there. Yeah, I think we can leave that blank as well. Not exactly too worried about it. I can't remember, did we get, I think that was the number one contenders match, so I'm pretty sure Seth Whitehead is our number one contender going into the next event, which is the Micro Brew Beer Festival. So we're working towards that. Let's have another match. We'll have a tag match. We'll go with the Suffering, and they can take on... let's give them Austin Smooth and Sunny Wildside. Now, I was contemplating making these two a tag team. I think they could be pretty good together. But we're going to give Seth the victory nonetheless, because we want to keep pushing him and making sure that he's... Okay, Sunny's upset. Let's make Austin the loser then, I guess. Austin is also upset. Well, we'll keep Austin strong, I guess. That's fine. It's not going to be the main event, so it doesn't matter too much. Then we want a singles match. I want to have Bret Heartbreak taking on Kyla Adams. I mean, Bret Heartbreak is basically going to be another little prospect for us to try and develop in a similar mold to Kyla himself. Alright, so there's that one as well. I think we'll go one more match. We'll try and get some guys we don't use too often. Let's go with Hush, and he can take on Rob Reynolds. And I think we'll actually give the win to Reynolds. He's got pretty bad momentum at the moment, so we get that one booked in there. We can actually start the show off with that one. And get it to work the crowd. Alright, so we need a Long Beach Mafia promo. So we'll start with Kelly Slick, Buster Cap, and they can both be on Entertainment, and then finally Mobstar can be on Menace. So we'll put that there. Then we need an angle for Kyla. Again, we'll just put him by himself. I mean, he was hitting C pluses with his promos, so he's doing relatively well. And I think that'll do us for now. Let's run that show. All right, so we start off with a 33E plus. We got Rob Reynolds defeating Hush in 9:45 by pinfall with a real deal rocker. Not a great match, but I mean, it's kind of to be expected. We then go into a 58C minus. We got the Suffering defeating Austin Smooth and Sunny Wildside in 10:12 when Seth Whitehead defeated Austin Smooth by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And yeah, Sunny Wildside, 68 in-ring performance, really doing well. We also have improvements here for Felipe Caballero in technical skills and Sunny Wildside in rumble skills. We then go to a 60C, so another pretty decent promo there from Kyler. His match with Bret Heartbreak here getting a 57C minus as a helicopter flies over my house. Alrighty, it's gone. So we have Kyle Adams defeating Bret Heartbreak in 10:30 by pinfall with a K trigger. And a nice 61 in-ring performance there from Kyle Adams. Very nice. We then go to a 59C. We got the Long Beach Mafia and their angled together. Another pretty good promo. The main event does really well, getting a 69C plus. We have the Long Beach Mafia defeating Ernest Youngman and the Ring Generals in 2011 when Kelly Slick defeated Dean Waldorf by pinfall with a slick back. Interesting to see that Mobster had an in-ring performance of 67, which is only 1 point below Kelly Slick. Pretty strange, but a pleasant surprise as well. And then, of course, we had Ernest being the standout with a 73. All right, no improvements. Let's end the show. We get a 51D plus. Again, still increasing our popularity, as you'd expect. And I think that's going to be a pretty large increase, much better than getting just a D-rated show. All right, I mean, I've got to do this every episode. Let's just see if there's any new booking jobs. There is not. Okay. Never mind. Let's just keep pushing through, I guess. I mean, we don't really have anything else to go over. I mean, we could look through look through some possible signings. We've got a pay rise request here from Logan Wolfsbane. We'll give him 195. Which is not too much. Anyway, let's advance. I think after this show, we'll have a look. I want to have a look at all the sort of newer workers and see if any sort of regenerated or debut workers have come into the game. Because I think I did put it on very high for new worker generation. And that was at the start of 2017. So there might be one or two. And sometimes you can find a gem in the rough. Another good rib there. Backstage ratings dropped a little bit though. It was on 72 for the last show. But we're almost averaging 2,500 fans per show. So hopefully we do actually hit that mark. That'd be really nice. Alright, so tonight's main event. I want to see what Logan can do. Seeing as we just gave him a pay rise, I want to have Logan Wolfsbane take on Ernest Youngman. 20-minute match. I mean, they both have really good stamina. I mean, obviously, your boy Ernest Youngman's going to win. We will script it as well, unfortunately, but I mean, it's going to be a real technical match, so it should be very good in theory. I think maybe at least a C, if not a C+. I know Logan doesn't have the popularity, but I mean, he does in Japan. But that's fine. Anyway, then we want to have a tag team match. Actually, let's do... No, that's fine. Now, I think Angel of Mercy had bad chemistry with El Mítico, didn't he? Let me just double check that. Because I'd like to do a luchador match, luchador tag team match. Or Parias, I think is how you say it. Yeah, so they do have negative chemistry. So that's pretty unfortunate, but I mean, I don't think we actually have anyone else that is in a mask. Yeah. Well, in that case, let's replace... Let's replace El Mítico with Sunny Wildside. Because in theory, this should be a really good tag team match as well. And I think we'll leave it blank. And, I mean, we could call it. I think we'll try and call it. A little bit risky with Hush's psychology there, but I mean, I kind of want to call it anyway, just to see. Still don't know what their tag team name's going to be. I did have a bit of a thought, and I was going to make it Demented Youth. But then at the same time, they're Mexican, so maybe a translation of something like that. Because they're both relatively young. I think Hush is 26, and then I think Samael's 21. I thought he was 22. Even younger than I thought he was. So I like the name Demented Youth, because they're pretty sadistic and messed up to a certain extent. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm pre-recording a few of these episodes, so I think the episode has just gone out when we first created their tag team, so haven't got any suggestions yet, but hopefully you guys might suggest a few cool names as well. Anyway, let's move on. We need a match for Kyler. And the question is, who are we going to put him against? I think Avalanche Decano will be a pretty good... Let's give it 20 minutes. I mean, this might even upstage the main event to a degree. We'll put that one on first, and I think that'll do us. Let's go with an Ernest Youngman promo. So one for him. Then we'll do a Samael the Accuser Menace angle, just by himself, because we want the rating to be as good as possible. And then finally, we'll also do a Kyler Adams angle as well. There we go, perfect. 74 minutes. Let's run the show. All right, so we start off with a 67C+ for Kyler's angle. Very impressive. His match with Takano only gets a 54C-, and we have Kyler Adams defeating Avalanche Takano in 1951 by pinfall with a K-trigger. Interesting. I thought it might be a little bit better, but then again, we haven't really done too much with Takano. Samael's Menace promo getting us a 73B-, which is, you know, pretty expected at this point. His match, well, the tag team match, getting a 55C- there. We have Angel of Mercy and Sunny Wildside defeating Samael and Hush in 940, when Angel of Mercy defeated Hush by pinfall with a Mercy of God. Of course, essentially stealing Samael's finisher there, as per suggestion in the comment section down below. And yeah, Hush was the weak link with a 23 in-ring performance there, so pretty bad. No work improvements there either. And yeah, I mean, that's probably why his in-ring performance was bad. He doesn't have the ability to pull off a called match, which is fine. We then go to a 67C+ promo here for Ernest Youngman before the main event. And the main event does, as expected, getting us a 65C. Ernest Youngman defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 1955 by pinfall with the hit. 70 in-ring performance there from Ernest Youngman. And overall show rating, again, getting us a 51D+. So a very nice back-to-back D+ rated show there. Pretty good way to start off the episode, if I say so myself. If you guys could smash the like button, be much appreciated. And you guys are legends. You really have been supporting the series since the beginning. I think the first episode has like 40 likes or something like that, and pretty much every episode after that is at least in the teens, if not the 20s. So, thank you. Anyway, we need to keep advancing here. We want to get to our next show. I did say we were going to check the worker. We'll try and see if any workers have made their debut recently. American Elemental might actually be available now. So let's try and stop the multi-advance here. I mean, I'm pressing the spacebar, but it's not really working. There we go. What did that say? Alright, so Tommy Cornell. Still pretty much being voted the best wrestler in the world. Best overall worker. You would probably have to agree with that, just looking at his stats here. I mean, he is absolutely incredible. Hopefully, Tyler can be somewhat similar to him. Alright, so let's have a look. What we want to do is filter by wrestlers to hire. We obviously want male. And then we need to work in the USA. And let's reduce this age right down. I think maybe 24 is a good cutoff point. Alright, so I think we've already seen Akira Arato. I think we checked him out on one of the other episodes. I think he is currently on excursion. So we'll sort of ignore him. But what we want to see is sort of debut year. Obviously, most of these guys here we have seen before, and okay, here this is what I'm talking about. Carlos Stinson. So he's a newly generated worker coming from the TCW School of Pro Wrestling, and he is a big boy. He's not the greatest though. I mean, he's got really good menace there, but the selling's pretty dreadful. The basics, while they're really bad, I mean, I know they can be improved relatively easily, but I'm just not sure about him. Currently only on a paper appearance deal there with TCW. We'll move on. Good old Christopher Ball. I don't think he's worked. Yeah, he hasn't worked for any company after us. I mean, I feel a little bit sorry for him, but then at the same time, I mean, he is what he is. Ooh, Devious Dr. Fang. He could be a nice little inclusion. How much would he be? He's very expensive. But he's very over as well. Let's shortlist him because he's quite young. He's only 23. He's pretty much came through the same luchador talent search that Angel of Mercy did. But he could be a good inclusion to Samael's stable. I say stable. It's a tag team at the moment, but we could turn it into a stable. Demented Youth. Interesting. You know, it could be compromised of purely Mexican lucha libre style wrestlers, even though he's not exactly lucha libre, but Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Ikichi 2 would be a bit more of a project than I'm looking for at the moment. Who's this guy? Eric LaMonica. He's not too bad. Really good psychology. But he's just not really what we're looking for. However, this guy could be. Loris Bouchard with a mask. And I think I'm going to hire him. 76 brawling and incredible entertainment stats. I mean, performance is pretty bad. However, his worst attribute is his star quality. It is a 3F minus. I mean, I'm going to sign him anyway. He's probably going to be cheap as well, only 240 per show. And he actually has popularity in Canada. He is currently with Canadian, with the Decolts. I mean, can we still apply for them? I mean, we can. Interesting. Oh, I just messed my whole search up. Gonna try and find him again now. What did I do? I did 24, didn't I? Monisha Bouchard. Yeah, so he's with Canadian Golden Combat. I mean, I kind of want to just sign him. I know they're cults, so they could basically just sign him to a written deal, but we may as well just bring him in because I think he's got a lot of upside, and a few matches with Kyler could really improve his brawling. And he only wants 250 per appearance, so that's still relatively cheap. And we might actually be able to get him over with his entertainment stats, so pretty good. Still can't hire Gary the Entertainer, which is a little bit frustrating considering he's super cheap and very, very good at the same time. Apart from his top pro, of course, and his psychology. But the star quality, color commentary, I mean, he could be a color commentator for us as well. And of course, those entertainment stats are, well, I mean, they're essentially better than Kyler's, so there we go. Green Diamond. We can't actually sign him, but he's another young luchador coming through the luchador talent search. He's pretty dreadful though compared to the other ones that we looked at. Who's this guy? Guillermo? Guillerme? I don't know. Thomas. Only 150 per appearance, and that is exactly the reason why. He's not very good. This guy though, coming through the WWA Canada, which is essentially the Canada or Canadian dojo. He looks pretty good, only 17 as well. Now he could be a decent little prospect. But again, star quality only being 15 just really is not a great thing to see. Let's bring him in because why not? He's only 17. We can also just put him in a tag team with the other guy we just signed. So there we go. We've got 2 Canadians coming in. We've got another guy here. Again, another Canadian. Herbert Dillon. I do like his name. I don't like his stats, though. And, yeah, we're going to move on very quickly from that one. I mean, Hurricane would be another really good option for us to bring in. He's not great, but I think you can get him over with the star quality and charisma that he's got. And again, he's only 18. But we can't sign him, unfortunately, as we still have those owner goals that are yet to be completed. Only 170 per show as well. Very cheap. All right, who's this guy? We've got Jacob Eastman. Probably not going to be too good. No, he's pretty bad. He really has the star quality, though, that a lot of the other guys are missing. Positive influence there as well. I mean, he's just really, really bad. We'll shortlist him in case we need a couple of cheap workers or something. Jules Knight. I think he's a guy that usually just comes in anyway. I think we'll keep him on the shortlist. I like Jules Knight. Yeah, he's a very good technical wrestler. You got Kato Freak, Kyuchi Matsumoto. He would have been a good option to bring in with Takano. Love his finisher, Matsumoto Murder Bomb. Very nice. But I believe, I mean, is he on? Is he on Excursion? I can't remember. Let's try and hire him anyway. At the very least, he can be a tag team partner to. And I just messed up there. Anyway, could have got that for cheaper probably. Let's just lower the downside as much as possible. Because like I said, I did mess that deal up, so there we go. Oh, only by about 20, that's fine. Alright, who's this guy? Laurent Lapointe. He's also really, really bad. Got really good consistency. So yeah, that's about it though. Nothing else. Alright, we got this guy here, Lewis Stallings. 6'6", 309 pounds. He's actually not too bad. We're not going to sign him because he's not good enough for us, but not a bad dojo graduate there for Mid-Atlantic. Alright, we're just going through. Not really seeing anyone that's too impressive. Riley Patton. I mean, he's pretty good. Similar sort of boat to the other guy, Jules Knight. But again, we can't hire either of them due to their failing of our owner goal. Who's this guy? Ricky Donovan. Gotta love his moustache and goatee. Not good enough. This guy, however, might be an option. Robin DeLay, of course, Dan DeLay's son. I mean, he's not great, but at the same time, he's not bad either. The psychology looks horrible, but he's got, you know, somewhat decent brawling. Really good consistency, selling, stamina, good athleticism there. He's got the menace. He's got sex appeal as well. Decent enough star quality to get him over. And I don't think those entertainment stats are not too bad either. I think we're gonna sign Robin DeLay. I think that's actually a really good signing. I'm surprised that he's not with Canadian Golden Combat. Pretty interesting. All right, he wants 210. That's perfect. I mean, we're getting a lot of good cheap workers that are going to come in as pretty much jobbers for us. All right, Ted Fullington, another TCW graduate. And there's a reason why he's still not with them. He's pretty bad. All right, we're getting to the bottom of the list now. And there we go. So we do actually have a few signings. We're gonna bring in these two guys, Floris Bouchard and Harbin Girard. Yeah, these names are not great for me. But yeah, we also have Matsumoto coming in, possibly to either link up with Avalanche Takano or to link up with Giryu Goto to be a tag team. And then we have the young 19-year-old Robin DeLay coming in as well. Really cool that we're signing a second generation star there as well. That might even be the title of the episode. Yeah, I'm just surprised to not see him with CGC. It's pretty strange. Now, is Yoshizawa, is he still the head booker for BCG? Let's check that. He is. Oh man, that would be... I would leave in a heartbeat for Black Canvas, one of my favorite companies in the Cverse. But his contract... I mean, it's saying that he's set to be offered a brand new contract. And unfortunately, we can't actually see if he's being offered one. But if he was to leave, then basically that would mean that the head booker position would be opened up. And we might be able to apply. So, fingers crossed, we'll have to keep a bit of an eye out on that one. Title prestige up to 90, which is unexpected. And of course, Peak of the Summit is coming up a little bit. I do need to update those graphics and make them Summit Wrestling graphics. I do apologize for not doing that. Pretty much said I was going to do that the episode after we first launched the championship. But that's my bad. Anyway, let's have a look at popularity. 37 still, with 37 importance as well. Let's advance. I want to get some of these new guys onto the roster. But none of them have actually come through, so that's fine. Go to a generic venue. We'll do another rib here. Didn't work. That's fine. Now, one thing I do want to do is to take Jenny Playmate off of Kyler Adams. And what we're going to do is we're going to put her onto Austin Smooth. There we go. And we're also going to put her on to Sunny Wildside as well. Now, this was another suggestion by a viewer, and I tend to agree because Jenny is only going to be able to help these guys get their entertainment stats over, similar to how she did with Kyler. And to be honest, they both need it, and they can both definitely be elevated because they're both pretty good in the ring. They have good stats, but they're just lacking the possible angles that can help them gain that popularity. We might even add them together as a team. Let's go with a sort of generic name. All right, double feature. Just going through a few of these ones. The marvelous ones, yeah. Let's go with Double Trouble. I like that name. Double Trouble. I mean, if we do look at their renders, their pictures, they do kind of have a similar hairstyle, so they do somewhat look similar. Both have a little bit of a chin beard going on there as well. But I like them together as a team. And like I said, Jenny's only going to benefit their entertainment stats. So let's put them in a tag team match. So Double Trouble. And they can actually take on El Midico and Kyler Adams, I think, in their first match. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Let's even give the victory to Sunny. And Almidico can take the loss there. And I feel like we could probably make that a 10-minute match if we wanted to. Anyway, let's book our main event. I want to have Seth Whitehead taking on someone pretty decent. Angel of Mercy? Let's do it. That's going to be our main event. 20-minute match. We're going to try and give Seth the victory if Angel of Mercy will take it. We don't want to call it either. We want to script it. And he's extremely unhappy. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just keep it blank. I mean, if Seth loses, he loses. So be it. Then we'll have a... Let's have a tag team match. Let's have Long Beach Mafia 3. So Buster Cap and Mobstar. And they can take on the team of Bret Heartbreak and Kid Fantastic. That could actually be a pretty good tag team. Fantastic Heartbreak. Yeah, interesting. They're both very young as well. Regardless, we'll give Mobstar the victory. Alright, there we go. Actually, I think... do we want to... We'll put that one first. And we'll grab one more singles match. Let's have Samael take on Giryu Kato. Just a nice, easy victory there for Samael. I feel like he's been on the back burner a little bit recently. I mean, Giryu's psychology is pretty good. That's sort of risen quite fast without me really noticing. Alright, so let's do our angles now. I want to have an angle for Seth Whitehead. We can do a proper... Let's do a proper tag team angle. So let's start off with Almidico and Kyla. And then they can be joined in the angle with Austin, Sunny Wildside, and of course the lovely Jenny Playmate. Everyone can be rated on entertainment, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of a beneficial improvement to to everyone's stats, I guess, in the angle. And then finally, we'll reduce this match by 1 minute. We'll work the crowd, and then we'll add a Samael Menace promo. Perfect. All right. Put that one up there, and we're ready to rock and roll. All right, so we start off with a 52D+. The Long Beach Mafia 3 defeating Bret Heartbreak and Kid Fantastic in 9:26 when Mobstar defeated Bret Heartbreak by pinfall with a flattener DDT. And then Mobstar was head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. We also have Kid Fantastic improving in Rumble skills, which is good to see. But that's a pretty good match considering, you know, these two are basically jobbers. And Mobstar getting a 60 in-ring performance there. He's really surprised me. We then go to a 71C+ Menace angle from Samael. His match getting a 51D+. We've got Samael the Accuser defeating Giryu Kato in 10:16 by pinfall with a Poison of God. And we also have Giryu improving in flying skills. Moving on to the tag team promo, getting a 49D+. Unfortunately, no improvements there, but I'm sure it's helping everybody. Behind the scenes, the match does really well, getting a 65C. We've got Double Trouble defeating Almidico Jr. and Kyla Adams in 10:11, when Sunny Wildside defeated Almidico by pinfall with a Fear Factor. And we also have Sunny improving in technical skills there. Good stuff. Moving on to a 63C rated Seth Whitehead angle, which is good to see. It's good to see that he's still doing pretty well. And the main event getting a 60C Angel of Mercy defeating Seth Whitehead in 2006 by pinfall with a Mercy of God. Seth actually outperforming him, so that's a little bit frustrating. Obviously, that's going to slow down Seth and his momentum. But the overall show rating getting us a 49D plus there. A little bit lower, but still maintaining the D plus shows for this episode. All right, so we've got our first couple of guys coming in. We've got Arbin Girard. And he's going to come in as a face. Not that it really matters. We still haven't done a face heel divide yet. And Matsumoto needs to be a heel if we do decide to do that. So we'll chuck him as we'll go an opener. That's fine. And then Harbin Girard, I assume, will be he can be an opener as well. Nice. All right, we'll keep going. Try and get into this next show. We've only got 2 shows left for the month. And we have our last 2 signings of the episode. So Floris Bouchard coming in as a face, which is important. And then we have Robin DeLay coming in as a heel. All right, let's just check Black Canvas. Yoshizawa's still there. Annoying. I would love to go to BCG. Black Canvas Grappling is, like I said, one of my favorite companies. And honestly, just having a fresh outlook would be interesting. I mean, we have a really good thing going at the moment with Summit Wrestling, but just to take the show on the road to Japan would be pretty incredible. Anyway, where is Robin DeLay? And he's a heavyweight as well. Let's chuck him straight into the lower mid card. He was auto pushing as an opener, whereas the other guys were enhancement talent. So basically, he's our second generation star. But I would say probably the first one of real note. Bret Heartbreak is Byron's son. But Byron, not exactly a massive talent. And Robin DeLay, you would have to say, is pretty well established in North America. Anyway, let's get another show booked. This is basically the go home show. What we're gonna do, we're gonna have a tag team match for the main event. I want to have the Suffering taking on Long Beach Mafia 3 for 20 minutes. We're going to have Seth get the victory, which is important. And then I want to have Buster Cap take the loss there. Okay, that's annoying. I just want to see if Mobstar... Yeah, Mobstar won't take the loss either. Alright, well, we're gonna make Buster Cap lose, and I guess we're gonna keep him strong. Really risky for the main event. I guess, in that case, we don't need to make it the main event. Let's just make it a 10-minute match. Then I actually want to do a handicap match. We're going to have the champion Cali Slick, and he's going to be taking on our 2 new Canadian jobbers, Harbin Girard, and where is the other guy? Floris Bouchard. I mean, we could just call them the odds, as their tag team name, the Ards. Obviously, Bouchard, Girard. I kind of like that, actually. Not a bad tag team name for him. We'll give this 8 minutes. Kelly Slick. Going to dominate, and it's going to be scripted and decisive. Just Kelly Slick basically giving an open challenge to any members of the crowd. In the front row, you got two Canadians. One has a mask on, looks like an absolute idiot. And obviously, they're plants. They're plants in the crowd. And they're going to be taking on Kelly Slick. And they are signed to Summit Wrestling. All right, next we want to go with a... I don't know what we want to go with. Let's go with a triple threat. Okay, exclude everybody that's booked. I want to go with Ernest Youngman, Samael, and Kyler. That's going to be the main event. We're going to leave it blank as well, because it doesn't really matter too much who wins this match. And finally, we want to do another tag team match. I want to put Kiryu Kato with Matsumoto. And they can actually take on, double ring generals. Let's go Venomous Death. We haven't used them this episode yet. And we'll give Cobra the victory. There we go. That one can go there. Let's do our main event angle. So we'll go Ernest, Samael, and Kyler. Should be a really good match. Might actually be our best match ever. Has the potential for sure. Then we want a suffering angle. So Seth and Felipe. And we can do one more angle. Let's just go with a Kelly Slick angle. Actually, yeah, we'll go with Kelly Slick. So that's basically him calling out to the crowd with an open challenge for a handicap match with the two Canadians answering to an extent. That does make sense. Anyway, let's run the show. Starting off with a 68C+ for Kelly Slick's angle, calling out the Canadians from the crowd. The match does pretty well, 45D, considering, I mean, they both debut without gimmicks, so that's interesting. I suppose in theory, they did come out of the crowd, so they wouldn't really have gimmicks, would they? Anyway, Kelly Slick defeated Harbin Girard and Floris Bouchard in a handicap match in 809, when Kelly Slick defeated Harbin Girard by pinfall with a slick back. And then obviously, Kelly was the strong link in the match, and Harbin was dreadful, only getting a 20 in-ring performance. But we do have Floris, of course, the masked wrestler there, improving in Rumble skills. We then move into a 49D+. And we have Venomous Death defeating Kiryu Kato and Kyuchi Matsumoto in 10:27 when Cobra defeated Matsumoto by submission with a Viper Vice. And yeah, Avalanche was the strong link, Matsumoto the weak link. And he also debuts without a gimmick, so strange. Only got an 11 in-ring performance. That seems strange because he's actually not a bad wrestler on paper, but he is improving in performance skills, so that's good. But yeah, no positive chemistry between these two, unfortunately. What I want to do is link these two up, so Takano and Matsumoto. We then go to a 62C for the Suffering for their angle. Their match gets a 61C. We got the Suffering defeating Long Beach Mafia 3 in 9:44 when Seth Whitehead defeated Buster Cap by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And yeah, Mobstar, Seth, and Felipe all getting a 65 in-ring performance there. And we have worker improvements as well. We got both Felipe and Mobstar improving in technical skills. We then go to a 76 B- for the main event angle between the triple threat competitors. And the main event getting a 69 C+, very nice. And surprisingly, Kyla Adams defeating Ernest Youngman and Samael the Accuser in 2009 when Kyla Adams defeated Samael by pinfall with a K trigger. So the worst performer in the match getting the pinfall there. You might think it's because this is the head booker of the company. But then again, he didn't actually book himself to win, so interesting. Very good show, though. Overall show rating getting us a 54 C-. Is that our tied highest? Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure that's our tied highest ever rating for a show. Let's have a look. Summit Wrestling. And top 100 events. Okay. One less than Continental Divide, which was a 55 C-. That's our second C- we've ever gotten. And it's actually a point higher than the minimum C-. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And of course, our next show, the Micro Brew Beer Festival. Can't even say my own event names properly. Anyway, let's just double check that is, yeah. I mean, we pretty much want to change all of these to an hour and 30 minutes. Because I don't really want a repeat of what happened at the event before. We might even make this one a 2-hour special, seeing it is, the end of the year special, seeing as it is our season finale. New Destiny needs to be an hour and a half as well. All right, there we go. All right, so let's book our final show of the episode, the Micro Brew Beer Festival. I feel like I'm going to get that wrong every time I say it. Interesting. Richie Riggins in RIPW. He's also the USA champion for them. Not doing too badly. He's actually developing pretty well. You don't always see that with him. Okay. Let's get into it. Alright, so we got an issue from Ralph, who we haven't used. We've got Cobra doing a good thing, and then a wrestler caught as well. And we have Rob improving his behavior. Alright, so let's do a cheeky rib. We'll go quite some way down the list. Nothing special there. Anyway, let's book our main event. So it's going to be one-on-one. We've got Kelly Slick versus Seth Whitehead for the North American title. Finally getting his rematch. And, yeah. Not a great one at that. Let's have a look at Seth. Still doesn't have a C+ in psychology, which is frustrating. Go with a tainted victory. All right, so then we want to have a tag team match. Let us have Long Beach Mafia 2. And they can take on... Yeah, let's do that. Let me jump into teams. And we'll actually add the Canadian team. So where are we? Arbin, Girard, and Floris. We'll go Floris first. Bouchard and Girard. We'll call them the Odds. I honestly, I really like that name. I think it's pretty fitting. I mean, their finisher could be... Nah, never mind. That might be a bit cringy. Anyway. Let's book this tag team match. So we need Long Beach Mafia 3 to take on the Odds. We'll actually give them a 10-minute match. And, yeah, that's fine. I mean, they're pretty much going to get destroyed by everybody, so it doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, I then want to do a match between Robin DeLay and El Mitico Jr. A 10-minute match, and it's going to be a bit of an upset. On debut, Robin DeLay. His psychology is dreadful. Getting a bit of a victory there, and maybe let's not give him a victory. Yeah, that works better. It's kind of a little bit easier to book when your lower mid-card debutante's not beating an established star. Alright, so we then want to have another tag team match. Let's get Kyle Adams and Ernest Youngman on a team together. And they can just take on the ring generals, to be honest. 20-minute match, that's a really good match. I think we'll leave it blank as well. I mean, realistically, that should probably be the main event. I'm thinking Ernest and Kyler might steal the show again. Well, Ernest stole it last time, but you know what I mean. We'll go one more match on the card. Let's actually go with a Fatal 4-Way. We'll try and get a few people involved. Alright, so the real question is, who do we want to actually put in this match? Now, I want to put Cobra in, because he has morale issues. I think Logan's not here, because he's with another company. So that's fine. I think Rob has morale issues as well. We probably... We'll get Ralph in there, and then I think we'll get Sunny Wildside in there as well. Kind of a mid-card Fatal 4-Way match. We'll actually leave it blank. Because, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. We can actually open the show off with that one. And just work the crowd. Alright, let's book our angles. So we want a Seth Whitehead angle before the main event. And then, of course, we want a Long Beach Mafia angle after the main event. And again, 2 rated on Entertainment and 1 rated on Menace. So that's fine. Then we want... I don't want Robin DeLay to do a Menace promo for his debut. Let's do that. Let's make him a mid-carder. Because I want to try and get him over relatively quick. Alright, so making mid-card, at least for this show. And then after the match, we're going to have Delay disrespect. We're going to have him disrespect El Mítico by beating him down. Alright, so we'll put that after their match. There we go. We also need... Alright, so both on entertainment, and then we'll go with Ernest first, and then we'll go Kyla second. That works out pretty well, I think. Save that. I guess we have room for one more promo. Maybe Sunny Wildside. Let's make that a regular match. And then we'll go one more. So Sunny Wildside can be joined by Jenny Playmate. And they will open the show. Alright. That is basically everything we need to do. Let's run the show. We're expecting 2,600 fans. We don't get that, unfortunately. So we start off with a 45D with Sunny and Jenny cutting their angle together. The Fatal 4-Way match gets a 50D+. We've got Sunny Wildside defeating Cobra, Rob Reynolds, and Ralph Liotta in 9:39 when Sunny defeated Rob Reynolds by pinfall with a Fear Factor. Apparently Cobra was off his game as well. We then go to a 65C for Ernest and Kyla, their angle together. Their tag team match does really well. Possibly might beat the main event, getting a 67C+. Kyla Adams and Ernest Youngman defeating the Ring Generals in 1957 when Kyla defeated Marv by pinfall with a K-trigger. Pretty good performance there. We then go to a 54C-, a very good match considering Robin Delay is only making his debut. But we have El Mítico Jr. defeating Robin Delay in 10:22 by pinfall with a Northern Lights suplex. And apparently El Mítico and Delay have pretty good chemistry. So that's something to note. And that's pretty good. They can probably have a few good matches down the line at some stage. We then go to the Menace angle afterwards, a 50D+. So a very solid rating there. It was based on El Mítico's entertainment skills as well, but good to see Robin Delay pulling a decent rating. That's definitely going to help his popularity grow. We then go to a 55C-. We have the Long Beach Mafia 3 defeating the Ards in 9:45 when Mobstar defeated Harbin Girard by pinfall with a Flattener DDT. And as you'd expect, Mobstar head and shoulders above everybody else. We also have Buster Cap improving in performance skills there as well. We then go to a 62C for the main event angle. Or the pre-main event angle, I should say. The main event itself getting a 67C+. We got Kelly Slick, so that's the same, I think, as the tag match. But we have Kelly Slick defeating Seth Whitehead in 1950 by pinfall with a slick back, following interference from Buster Cap. During the match, we also had Mobstar run in and attack Whitehead. Kelly Slick makes defense number 3 of his Summit North American title. 70 in-ring performance there from Kelly Slick. And a 61, which is relatively good as well, from Seth Whitehead. But yeah, defense number 3, cheating to win. And of course, here we have the final angle of the show. Basically, Kelly Slick standing up, holding the belt up high, and then Buster Cap and Mobstar right by his side, getting us a 62C to end the show. And we also have Buster Cap learning to show more charisma as well, which is good. Overall show rating getting us a 52D+, so 1 point away. I think that might be our third or tied third best show ever. So that's relatively good. And I think overall the Microbrew Beer Festival, I'm never going to get that name right. It's just permanently stuck in my head being wrong. Anyway, Microbrew Beer Festival overall was a pretty good event. Now we want to give Rob some praise. We want to give Cobra some praise as well. And I'm not sure who else. I guess Kelly Slick. He also performed really well in that main event. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, another thing we have to be worried about with Kelly Slick is the fact that TCW might come calling at some stage. Anyway, we got another pay rise request from Felipe Caballero. I mean, he wasn't even in a match. And he believes he's worth $890. We'll give him the 75% just so he doesn't have any morale issues, and we will advance one more day to end out the month and check our profit. I'm looking for a pretty good profit for that month, I think. All right, so the regional battles as well, we finish second again in the Mid-South and second out of 6 in the Southwest. And we actually made 91,000, which I think is about 16th. Yeah, I know. It's about 12,000 more than the month of March. So really good to see. We're almost making 100k per month, which I think is definitely good for us, especially with this economy. I mean, you'd expect to probably make double with a C economy. I would think that's probably pretty achievable. Anyway, that's going to be it for the episode, guys. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Please make sure you hit the notification bell. I just got the stats for people that have the notification bell turned on. And apparently it's only at 6% of all my subscribers. So please turn the bell on. It'll keep you up to date with all these episodes coming out in the future. You'll get a nice notification when these episodes do come out. Apart from that, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you do that. And then also hit the notification bell. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy. And I hope you enjoy the end of stat screen.